Hi folks, this is question 2. So the first part, so it's about a circle. X squared plus y squared equals 25, so you should know that it's going to be 0, 0 for the center. So x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So you might know that anyway, that when you've got x squared plus y squared equals a number, it's going to be 0, 0. But if you didn't and you knew the other formula hk, then you know to see that there's nothing there for this one. So there's nothing beside the x, there's nothing beside the y, so it's going to be 0, 0. The radius is always the thing after the equal sign, so that will be equal to r squared. So r squared is equal to 25. So therefore r is equal to 5. So 5 for the radius. Show that the point 3 minus 4 is on the circle, so I'm just going to sub in x and y. So I'm just going to sub in values of x and y. So x squared plus y squared is equal to 25. So we've got 3 squared plus minus 4 squared. So we have to see if that equals 25. So 3 squared is 9 minus 4 squared is 16 is equal to 25. So 25 is equal to 25. So therefore, because we got the same thing on both sides, or we got something that's true at the bottom, it works. So it is on the line, or it is on the circle. Write down the coordinates of 2 other points that are also on the circle S. Right, so there's probably a couple of ways of doing this. So if I was to picture that graph, so I know the center is 0, 0, but I also know that the radius is 5, so that means it's just going to go up to 5 everywhere. So the circle will go around something like that, but it should go through each of them. So it goes through all the 5s. So therefore this point here has to be the point 5, 0. And this point here has to be the point minus 5, 0. And then it's going to have 0, 5 as well, and it's going to have 0, minus 5. So those are 4 points that it'll have, so you only need 2. Another way you could do it is to sub some values into the equation. So plus y squared is equal to 25, so you could just sub in some values for x or y. So if I just subbed in a 0 for x, 0 squared plus y squared is equal to 25. So I get y squared is equal to 25, so y is equal to 5 or minus 5. So therefore we get 0, 5, 0, minus 5. That's another way of doing it, and you could sub in other values rather than 0. You could sub in a 1 there instead of the 0, or other numbers. So that's a couple of ways of doing it. So part B, so it's finding the point of intersection. So hopefully you know that point of intersection means that you're going to be using simultaneous equations. So it's algebra really. You don't even really need to know about the circle. You can just look at these. Now I'd kind of ignore the L indicator. They don't really mean much. Well, obviously they mean the circle and the line, but you can do them without even using them or looking at them. So it's simultaneous equation. So 5x minus y. So it's algebra. It's one thing that overlaps, that comes up up in a different part of the course. So I'm going to use the linear equation first, so the easier looking equation, the one without the squares, and I'm going to rearrange it to get either x equals or y equals, so one or the other. So I want to rearrange things around now. So because there's a 5 in front of the x there, I'm going to leave that alone, and I'm going to try and find out what y is. So if I just take this minus y and I put it over to the other side here, I'll just get what y is. So I'm going to do that. So y then would be equal to 5x minus 13. So that's what y is. So y is 5x minus 13. So I'm going to take that then, and I'm going to put it in instead of the y over here. So I'm going to have x squared plus, and then I'm putting it all in, so 5x minus 13 all to be squared is equal to 1. And then I'm going to work from here, so I'm going to expand out the bracket. So x squared plus 5x minus 13, 5x minus 13 is equal to 1. So just writing it out twice because it's squared. So x squared then plus, now the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to split up the first bracket into this and this, and I'm going to write down the second bracket twice. So I'm writing this bracket down twice. So plus 5x minus 13, 5x minus 13, and I'm taking each part of the first bracket. So the 5x and the minus 13. So now we've got, and equals 1 still, so x squared plus, and then so 5x times 5x is 25x squared. 5x times minus 13 is minus 60, minus 65x, then minus under 65x, and then plus 169 is equal to 1. So now if I put the x squareds together, so I get 25x squared, and that's a 1x squared, so that's going to be 26x squared minus 130x and plus 168. So I can try and, because, oh yes, I'm getting 168 there, sorry, because I'm moving the 1 across, so I'm taking this 1 and bringing it across the equal sign, and it becomes a minus 1. So is equal to 0 then, so everything is equal to 0. So you could try and simplify this down now, divide across by something if you want, or you could go straight to the minus b formula. So we've got an x squared term, an x term, and just a number. So therefore I can just put them in. So I'll make it the easiest thing really. So I'm going to have minus, so I know that my a, b, and c, so a is 26, b is minus 130, and c is 168. So minus 130 plus or minus square root minus 130 squared minus 4 times 26 times 168 all over 2 times 26. And then you're going to take your calculator and you're going to put it all in with a plus first, and then you're going to put it all in with a minus, and it should give us 2 answers. And then I end up getting x is 3 and x is 2. So those are my 2 values for x. So I'm going to put them back into this equation up here then. So y is equal to 5x minus 13. So I'm going to put a 3 in first, so y is equal to 5 times 3 minus 13. So therefore y is equal to 2. And then I'm going to put it into the other one. So I'm going to put the x equals 2 in, so y is equal to 5 times 2 minus 13. So that means y is equal to minus 3. Therefore my 2 points will be 3, 2, and 2 minus 3. So those are the points of intersection on the graph. That's what we've worked out. So that's all that question.